Okay, I hope the audio is okay now. Jai Radha Madhova Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Rama Kunjami Gopi Janavallabha Girivaranari Yashunanandana Vrajajanarandana Yashunanandana Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhova Kunja Vihari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhire Nashta Prayasho Bhagreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Yogeshwara Uchuhu Preyanate Anyo Asti Amutastvai Preyanate Anyo Asti Amutastvai Prabho Vishwatmanakshena Na Pritagya Atmanaha Atapi Bhakte Shatayo Padhavatam Ananya Vritta Anugrahana Vatsala Yogeshwara Uchuhu Preyanate Anyo Asti Amutastvai Prabho Vishwatmana Nikshena Prithagya Atmanaha अथाभिभक्ते शतयोपधावताम् अनन्यवृत्तानुगृहान वत्सला योगेश्वरा उचुः प्रेयानते अन्य अस्ति अमुतस्त्वयि प्रभो विश्वात्मनानेक्षेन नापृथग्य आत्मनः अथाभिभक्ते शतयो बधावताम् अनन्यवृत्त्यानुगृहान वत्सला. Yes, anybody who's like to chant?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandava Pranam. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Prayananate Anyostai Amutstvai Prabho Vishwatmani Kshetra Prathagya Atmanaha Athapi Bhakteshtayopadhavatam Dhavatam Ananya Vratyanugrahan Vatsalaha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandava Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Preyanate Anyo Asyamutastvai Prabhu Vishwatmani Kshena Prathagnayatmanaha Athapi Bhaktyesha Tayopadhavatam Anya Vrityannanugrahana Vatsala. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yogeshwaraha Uchuhu Puyanate Anvasti Amutastvai Prabho Vishwatmani Kshena Prithagna Ya Atmanaha Athapi Bhaktesha Tayo Padhavatam Ananya Vrityanu Vatsala. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Priyanate Annasta Munmunat Mutastai Prabho Vishwatmani Kshetra Prithagya Atmanaha Athapi Bhaktesha Tayopodhavatam Anya Vrittyanugrihana Vatsalaha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji, Yogeshwara Uchuhu, Priyanate Anya Aste Amutastvai Prabhu, Vishwatmanikshena Prithagya Atmana, Athapi Bhaktesha Tayo Pandavatam Ananya Vrittya Anuragahana Vatsala. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Priyanate Nayo Asti Amutastai Prabhu Vishwatmanikshena Prathagya Atmanaha Athapi Bhaktisya Tayo Padhavatam Ananya Vrityanugrihana Vatsala. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Preyanate Nyosti Amutastvai Prabho Vishwatma Nikshena Pratagya Atmanaha Atapi Bhaktesha Tayopadavatam Ananya Vrittyanugrahana Vatsala. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Prayonate Anyostama Mustavahi Prabhu Vishwatmano Shitra Prategna Atmanaha Atabi Bhakti Yesha Tato Padavata Mananya Vrityano Grahana Vatsalaha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Preyanate Yamutastvai Prabhu Vishwatmani Kekshan Na Pratagya Atmanaha Athapi Bhaktesha Tayopadavatam Ananya Vratyanugrahana Vassala. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Prayanatanyasta Mutasthai Prabhu Vishwatmani Kshetra Manaha Athapi Bhaktesa Tathopadhyavata Mananya Prityanugrahana Vatsala. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you. Yoga Ishvaraha, the great mystics, Uchuhu said, Prayan, very dear, na, not, they of you, Anyaha, another, Asti, there is, Amutaha, from that, Tvai, in you, Prabhu, dear Lord, Vishwa Atmani, in the super soul, and the super soul of all living entities, Ikshet, see, na, not, Pritak, different, Yahahu, Atmanaha, the living entities, Atha, api, so much more. Bhaktya, with devotion, Isha, O Lord, Taya, with it, Upadhavatam, of those who worship, Ananya Vritya, unfailing, Anugrahana, favor, Vatsala, O favor, favor Lord. The great mystics say, my dear Lord, person who see you as non-different from themselves, knowing that you are the super soul of all the living entities, are certainly very, very dear to you. You are very favorable toward those who engage in devotional service, accepting you as a Lord and themselves as the servant. By your mercy, you are always inclined in their favor. The great mystic said, dear Lord, persons who see you as a non-different from themselves, knowing that you are the super soul of all the living entities, are certainly very, very dear to you. You are very favorable toward those who engage in devotional service, accepting you as a Lord and themselves as a servant. By your mercy, you are always inclined in their favor. Yes, Supriti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. It is indicated in this verse that the monists and the great mystics know the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one. This oneness is not the misunderstanding that a living entity is equal in every respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This monism is based on pure knowledge as described and confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.17. Priyo hi gnanino atyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. The Lord says that those who are advanced in transcendental knowledge and know the science of Krishna consciousness are very dear to him. He is also very dear to them. Those who are actually in perfect knowledge of the science of God know that the living entities are superior energy of the Supreme Lord. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter. The material energy is inferior and the living entities are superior energy. Energy and the energetic are non-different. Therefore, energies possess the same quality as the energetic. Persons who are in full knowledge of the personality of Godhead, analyzing his different energies and knowing their own constitutional position, are certainly very, very dear to the Lord. Persons, however, who may not even be conversant with the knowledge of the Supreme Personality, but who always think of the Lord with love and faith, feeling that he is great and that they are his parts and parcels, ever his servitors, or even more favored by him. The particular significance of this verse is that the Lord is addressed as Vatsala. Vatsala means always favorably disposed. The Lord's name is Bhakta Vatsala. The Lord is famous as Bhakta Vatsala, which means that he is always favorably inclined to the devotees, whereas he is never addressed anywhere in the Vedic literature as Gnani Vatsala. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishraya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshai Shundavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yogeshwara Uchuhu Prayanate Anyo Asti Amatastvai Prabhu Vishwatmana Nikshenana Pritagya Atmanaha Atabi Bhakte Shatayo Padhavata Ananyavrityanugrahana Vassala. The great mystic said, dear Lord, persons who see you as a non-different from themselves, knowing that you are the super soul of all the living entities, are certainly very, very dear to you. You are very favorable toward those who engage in devotional service, accepting you as a Lord and themselves as servants. By your mercy, they are always inclined in their favor. Hare Krishna. Audio is fine? Preeti Vasale, if you want to add to the WhatsApp group, please send me a message. My number. Okay? We'll do it. Okay, audio is fine? Oh, not to Sri Devi. Everyone. Yes. So I have given you number, Preeti. You please send me a WhatsApp. Okay. Now today's discussion, Bhakta Vatsala. Lord is very dear to the devotees. Now this confusion many times comes when people read the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, you see in Bhagavad Gita what he does. He explains there are four kind of neophyte devotees that come to him. Artha arthat jigyasu jnani cha bharata shava. Chaturvida bhajante mam. Jana sukrito narjana. So there are many people who are in some kind of need and they approach the Lord if they are pious. A pious man, a noble man, when he's in distress, he remembers the Lord. Don't think everybody in distress remembers the Lord, because many people have seen their faith comes out in distress. Many other people start cursing. Why did God do this? How can you do that? You're a devotee, no? You're supposed to be noble. How can you question the Lord? Rather, in difficulty, a devotee remembers the Lord intensely. When Nanda Maharaj informed Vasudeva that I expect some difficulties in Vrindavan, please go there immediately. So Nanda Maharaj was, Vasudeva informed him. So Nanda Maharaj, it's Vasudeva who informed Nanda Maharaj. So Nanda Maharaj had come to the city Mathura to pay tax, and then he was rushing back. And because he heard that there is prophecy, there is some going to be difficulty, because Vasudeva knew because of Gargumuni that the child will have attacks by demons. So therefore, he informed Nanda Maharaj, please take care, there may be some difficulties in Vrindavan. And Nanda Maharaj is rushing back and he was intensely meditating on the Lord. So devotee means he's always thinking of the Lord, and when there is a difficulty, the meditation of the Lord becomes intense. And by that, he becomes transcendental. And so much so, he wants more difficulties like Queen Kunti. Queen Kunti kept asking, give me more difficulties, so that she became kind of addicted to this. Because devotee is always thinking of the Lord, no doubt. But sometimes, when the difficulties come, devotee's meditation on the Lord become more intense, because then he becomes transcendental, total to the material existence, and he can live without any kind of pain, frustration, dissatisfaction. These are not the part of the personality of a devotee. Like Arjuna in the Mahabharata war is in total meditation on Krishna, and he is in transcendental position. He knows Duryodhana Durbuddhe, he knows. He knows. He doesn't have intelligence, both. But he doesn't have anguish, he doesn't have some hatred, he doesn't have enmity to even Duryodhana. What can be done? Krishna is asking me to give him death penalty and I have to give it. But he's not an intelligent person, that's all. Doesn't have to punish him, that is not there. Therefore, when you see these kind of presentations from, silly serials who bring down the whole Mahabharata to Saj Bahu serial, actually, that is like poison. It's very dangerous, because I remember a long time ago, there was one devotee who was reading a Karmi book on Mahabharata. And many times I told him, whenever I used to go to his room, he was, brahmachari in the temple, illicitly. I said, don't read that. It's not, no, I will take care. Whenever the snake comes, I'll catch, sarpochista payoratha. So, sarpachista, the poison put in the milk. And so what happens? When you have a milk, but if it is put poison, the milk will harm you. So even though it's milk. So many people says, oh, there is a Harikatha, let us put on the Asta channel and watch everybody speaking. No, that will destroy your faith. Sarpochista payorata. Avaishnava mukho gita puta harikatamritam shavanam naiva kartavam sarpochista payorata. So because that will make you doubt the very existence of the exalted devotees who are completely in transcendental position. The devotees, we have three categories of devotees. One is, neophyte like us. We just have smelled what is Krishna consciousness, but our consciousness 24 hours is not in purification. Our consciousness 24 hours is not in transcendental position. Our consciousness 24 hours is not in servitude to the Lord. We have just smelled, and it's good. Therefore, we are coming again and again daily to hear the classes, because we develop some faith, Shraddha, the beginning of spiritual life. That's called Kanishtatikari, is begun. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defines Madhyamatikari, the person who is constantly chanting. That means he is constantly engaged in purification and in glorification of the Lord. Satatam Kirtayanto Maha. And now he is becoming exalted. And then, but still there is an effort in sadhana, so that is Madhyamadikari. And Uttamadikari, the position that he becomes totally transcendental to the material situation. Totally transcendental. Liberated personality. Okay? So there is Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. At this Uttama situation, there is no effort for performing devotion service. So much he is drinking the pleasure of Krishna consciousness that his very existence purifies anybody. Prahlad Maharaj, just by seeing him, people used to get purified when he was a small child. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just by seeing him, people used to start chanting the Harinama, because they are totally drinking the pleasure of Krishna consciousness at every moment. This is very, very... So where we are, Kanishta, we have a long way to go. Many times we think I am initiated. Yeah, Kanishta. That's Kanishta Adhikari. Harinam initiation, nectar of instruction referred to as Kanishta Adhikari. Yeah, it's bigger, his spiritual life. They started chanting. That's okay. That's okay. But then Madhyamadikari, the position at which he is constantly engaged in self-purification, his mind doesn't dither for a moment into sense gratification, into planning sense enjoyment. No way. He doesn't look for excuses to justify his sense enjoyment proclivities. He wants to come out of all the harassment in the mind and for sense enjoyment. Not that my mother told I should get married. No, those silly things like that. He openly is honest that I am harassed by sense enjoyment, and he wants to come out of his tendencies, weaknesses. That is Madhyamadikari, is actually intensely working for self-purification, not justifying sense enjoyment. Intensely is working and wants to constantly drink the pleasure of Krishna consciousness. Then we can say the devotee is now fixed up. Now Kanishta means the Shraddha is there, but Komal Shraddha. He just knows, but he's not fixed up. Just holding the rope of Krishna consciousness by the teeth, that's all. Anytime he keeps slipping, can't even hold Krishna consciousness tightly. That is Kanishta. So we are all in Kanishta situation. Go to Madhyama. Madhyama means fixed up. He is purified. My mind is washed now. Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhadu bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. His mind has been washed from all the inauspicious thing, and bhakti bhavati naishtiki. Firm faith is developed now in Krishna consciousness, seeing the effect of self-purification. He has an anubhava of purification. He doesn't have anubhava of love of Krishna. That will come Uttamadikari. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's way of defining Kanishta Madhyama Uttama. So in the situation, in the difficult position of the war, in the big conflict that is there, Arjuna's mind is totally transcendental. Because always he's on intense meditation. Therefore Krishna gives him the order, Mam Anusmara Yuddha, remember me and fight. For us, if there is any conflicting situation, immediately we show our Rajoguna, Tamoguna, we jeer, envy, jealousy, hatred, we wish ill for somebody. That shows our lack of development in Krishna consciousness. Devotee never wishes ill for anybody. Always, therefore, when such conflicting situations come in the mind, the devotee should become transcendental. And how do you become transcendental? By intense meditation. And who can do that? Devotee. Now, Jnani is, so we're coming back to the situation, the four people in difficulty do approach the Lord. But these are all four are Kanishtathikaris. They cannot be compared. Even though Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, among the four, Jnani best and is very dear to me. But the point is, Jnani is a Kanishtathikari. Many times people say that, Jnani is the greatest. Who is the greatest, Bhakta or the Jnani? So they bring out this point that actually Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, among the four kind of people, Chaturvida bhajante mam. They forget the first line, worships me. These are all beginning their worship to the Lord if they are pious. Their nobility also helps in that case. A noble person in association easily burns in Krishna consciousness. And he comes to the shelter of devotees when he is in distress. Artho, artharthi, when he wants money. Jnani, when he is in knowledge. Jigyasu, Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani. These four, inquisitive and Jnani. Now, these four kind of people approach the Lord to do in devotion service, to surrender, but they are all four are Kanishtathikaris. Krishna says here the Jnani the best because among these four, Jnani the best because others go away. People who come to the Lord for money, people who come to the Lord in distressful condition, when their problem is solved, they forget the Lord. But a Jnani who has come to the Lord in knowledge that he is the servant of the Lord, is constant, God is great, I am his servant, does not leave the service to the Lord. That is the point. It does not leave the service to the Lord. Other people just come and go away. We are in difficulty, remember the Lord. In that respect, he is better. To clarify something, many people feel that those who are emotionally weak, they are the bhaktas. But actually, those who are developed in knowledge, they are jnanis. And Krishna says in Gita, say jnani the best. But they don't get the proper perspective. He said, Chaturveda bhajante mam. Those who worship me. And these are four ways they can begin, not end, begin. Prabhupada says these four kind of Kanishtathikaris, when they come to a station of a pure devotee, they also become pure devotees. So Bhakta is always greater than a Jnani. Jnani is not greater than a Bhakta. Somebody, the Bhakta, automatically has all the Jnana. And somebody, the Jnani, may not have the devotion. Therefore, who is greater? Bhakta. Therefore, Prabhupada's name is Bhakti Vedanta. First is Bhakti. The conclusion of Vedanta is Bhakti. Krishna, therefore, Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. You can know only me by devotion. He doesn't say Jnana mam abhijanati. Bhakti yogena manasi. Again he says only by devotion service Vedavyasa meditated on the Lord. So which is superior, Jnana or Bhakta? Bhakta. You can actually not be devotee, actually not be an advanced devotee without Jnana. You have Jnana. But mostly what we feel, people think about Bhakta means some person emotionally being weak and taking shelter of the Lord. No. Bhakti is a transcendental energy of the Lord, which is bestowed by the Lord. Krishna can give other things, bhukti, mukti, siddhi, jnana easily. But Krishna doesn't bestow easily bhakti. Okay? So therefore we have to learn then, how do I get bhakti? We have to understand this process. So very important point Prabhupada develops in a place is that he says animal doesn't like any restriction and regulation. Who? Animal. Very nature of animal is no restriction, no regulation. By nature's way, it is regulated restricted, but on its own, an animal doesn't follow any restrictions. So that's called animal. So in human form of life, when we become similar to animals, that we don't accept a regulation and restriction, we become an animal. I'm not saying that. Hitopdesh is that. Ahara nidra bhay mai to naam to samana esha pashubhinarana. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, these tendencies are both in animals and the human being. Dharimohi eko adhika vishesha. So in the human form of life, this real special thing is dharma. What is special thing in human form of life? Dharma. Dharmena hina pashubhinaram. But if the dharma is removed, person becomes a pashu. So what is dharma? Dharma means obviously some rules and regulations or niyamas. What's supposed to be done, what is not supposed to be done. And if you suppose remove this dharmas, say I don't want regulation, so I don't want a restriction, then person actually comes to the platform of animal. Animal kingdom says, welcome. When you die, so those people who do not like a restriction, so restriction and regulation previously were culturally ingrained in the society. But gradually as so-called Kali Yuga is advancing, the more and more we see that so-called advancement, there is no advancement, the people are becoming more and more weak in the sense easily they do sinful activities. But previously you tell somebody for sinful activity, Mahapap, culturally they were regulated. So people remain pure. And that was noted by various invaders to this country. The people are culturally very strong, very high character. But as the time progresses of Kali Yuga, we see that people are slowly getting degraded and do not hesitate to do sinful activities. That is not advancement, that is degradation. Because by rules and regulations only, if we accept, and then what happens? Then we are not animals. We rise from that platform of animal kingdom by following rules and regulations. So let us follow the rules and regulations as given by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, my regulations are 5, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit, no meat eating, and chant 16 rounds. This is what Srila Prabhupada has given. If you do this, what is going to happen automatically? Among them, put 16 rounds first. If that is done, we can easily follow the 4 regulative principles, and day after day, Jananam yesham tu antagatam papam, Jananam punya karmanam. Day after day, you can live a pious life. And then what happened? Te dvanda moha nirmuktam bhajante mam dhridavrata. Because of this, we will be able to serve Krishna with full determination. If we need a wood, we want to burn a wood, the wood has to be dry. To make the wood dry, we have to strictly follow the 4 regulative principles, and for that, chant 16 rounds. Heart is purified, blessed, happy, then it is easy. So therefore, the regulations come in. So many scholars may be knowing big things, but they cannot follow any regulations or devotional service. So who is greater now? Devotee or the knowledge person? We have the example of Vishwamitra, a very knowledgeable person sitting, and Menika came, he forgot all his knowledge. The example of Ajamila, also son of a Brahmana, so much knowledge, and a prostitute came, he forgot all his knowledge. So Maya is so powerful that it take away all his knowledge. But a devotee is experiencing pleasure of service to the Lord. He is very, 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 very dear to the Lord. And because of that, Maya will not touch him. But suppose somebody is not a devotee, fixed up devotee, he is Kanishta. Kanishta means he can fall down. Prabhupada said Kanishta can fall down. Kanishta will easily fall down. Madhyama will not fall down, and Uttama cannot fall down. How to understand this? Kanishta will easily do sinful activity, easily meditate on sense enjoyment. Madhyamadikari is now heart is purifying, is constantly engaged in service to the Lord, constantly engaged in self-purification. He will not fall down. Uttama is totally under Lord's protection. He cannot fall down. So we jump to sense enjoyment or not, we need protection from the Lord. But God helps those who help themselves. We make an effort. And Krishna, seeing our sincere effort, pulls us out from the clutches of material energy. And we can easily taste the transcendental pleasure of service to the Lord. The Goswamis in Vrindavan, when they left everything, they came from home, they were very rich. Tatyatu namashesha mandalapati sadatuchavat. They were billionaires at home. And they came to Vrindavan, Kaupina Kantashito, living in a very humble life. They did not have any frustration of living opulent life and respect and, people doing salam to them. They were totally on a transcendental platform. And therefore, the qualities of the devotees are much more greater than qualities of a jnani. Jnani may know so many knowledge and all, but may not be a pure devotee. And it will show. Prabhupada says they may be having so much knowledge, but privately they engage in sinful activities. Correct? It is not easy. In and out, be transparent and be a sincere devotee to the Lord is something we have to try to achieve. In and out. Not that privately we still think about sense enjoyment, but at the same times we practice Krishna consciousness. No. 24 hours. So our challenge is how to, and Prabhupada says, Krishna is saying here, a devotee. Devotee means fixed up devotee is much greater than a jnani and is very, 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 very dear to the Lord. Bhagavad Gita in the 12th chapter, Krishna says Priya Ashtaka. He has at the end of the 12th chapter 8 shlokas. How many shlokas? 8 shlokas. The Prabhupada talks about how a devotee is so dear to him. So Krishna says in the verses one after, devotee is so dear to him. We generally show that with the pictures of Sudama, with Prahlad, with pictures of Ambarish Maharaj, and you all see that when he presents the 12th chapter. Their devotees are so dear to the Lord. And the Lord is also very dear to devotees. When they were the great scholar and learned personality with Siddhis, what is the name? Durvasa Muni, when he attacked Ambarish Maharaj, and Krishna sent a Sudarshana against him, and this yogi, jnani, had to fall at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj, finally to save his life. And before that, when he went to Narayana to say, please forgive me, your Sudarshana is chasing me, Narayana said, see, I am the property of my devotees. What is that? I am the property of my devotees. So they are in my heart, I am the heart. I am not even independent. You ask them. So he comes at the falls of the feet of Ambarish Maharaj and seeks pardon. Please forgive me. And Ambarish Maharaj shows the exemplary qualities. He has no anguish, no enmity, no frustration within his heart. That's a devotee. So if Krishna is in control, how can there be frustration? If Krishna is in control, how there can be enmity for anybody? When Prahlad Maharaj was being taught in Gurukul the message of enemy and friend, he just did not like it because the devotee cannot keep that within his heart. Rather, if you keep that, then you cannot have Krishna in the heart. Dharma projita kaitavatra parmo nirma saranam satam. Dhritarashtra could not understand one word of Bhagavad Gita because he had some negative frustration, enmity, jealousy, hatred within his heart. One word of Gita he could not understand. Neither Duryodhana, when Krishna went to advise him previous to the war, to peace proposal he gave, Duryodhana did not get anything understanding because his mind is full of enmity, jealousy, hatred, negative frustration. So if we keep our heart in the same situation, how we can call ourselves a devotee? You cannot call yourself a devotee in that situation. Maybe Kanishta, beginning. Just begin, but then that's Kanishta. So we have to rise our heart by purification to the position of always feeling bliss of Krishna consciousness and keeping ourselves away. So when the difficulties come, when conflict comes, when all these things come, the mind remains in blissful condition. Because we increase our meditation to the Lord, because we need now more advancement to be able to handle that. So Krishna said, okay, you could do that, now I'll increase the difficulty more. So just like Haridas Thakur is in a very difficult position. The Maya personified has come, but nothing happens to him because he is an intense meditation of the Lord. So if we increase our meditation of the Lord, the difficulties may come as sense enjoyment or some anxiety, but at the same time, devotee remains transcendental and blissful and happy in any condition. That's a devotee. And such a devotee is very, very dear to the Lord. Just remaining a jnani and understanding Krishna is supreme, I am a servant, some kind of ephemeral knowledge, but not so much engagement in devotion service with that energy, with the love, that's a jnani. So which is greater, jnani or bhakta? The devotee is greater. Not one. We can get millions of examples from the Shastra. Even Veda Vyasa, who can be a scholar greater than him? Mahamuni Veda Vyasa. And he was in trouble when he did not present Bhagavatam with pure devotion. Prabhupada said, even Veda Vyasa is in trouble now. And when Narad Muni, an exalted devotee, pointed out the fault as a devotee on a scholar called Veda Vyasa, he said, my dear Veda Vyasa, your work is unlimited. You have written Mahabharata, you have written the Puranas, you have written the Vedanta Sutra. You have done so much work. How is it that, Prabhu, you are not satisfied? Is it that you forgot to glorify the pastimes of the Lord? Adayat vataschitra padam harer yasho jagat prahinitam parahena karajite tadavayasam tirtam ushanti manasa. He said, what you have done, this kind of work that you have done where the glorification of the Lord is not properly done is like pilgrimage place for the crows. Please wait. What does it say? Pilgrimage place for the crows. So what are we? Crows or Hamsa? Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlok abadhivati api namani anantasi yashoanti ankitani yash shanuvanti gayanti rinanti sadavaha. You see, on the other hand, there is the literature, there is the glorification of the Lord is very dear to the devotees. So in every movement, actually, there is an opportunity for association for us. Nowadays, mobile, internet, your tablet, your TV, association. So become more advanced. What are you associating with? Please be more advanced. That will help you. If you waste your time, then you're wasting the time. Your little time you have for perfection, why are you wasting it? Little time you got. Why behave? Continue to behave like a Kanishthadhikari, Shishi Radha Govinda ki Jai. And be very proud as a Jnani. See, I know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. I know Radharani, the consort of Lord Krishna. I know Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there. Then why you're not engaged 24 hours in their service? Why your mind is dithering to sense enjoyment? Why your mind is dithering to so many disturbance, negative feeling, negative energy? Why you want to continue to be a dry Jnani? There is an example in Chaitanya Charitamrita of Sarva Bhattacharya. He was such a great scholar that he had, in the Shankara line, he was massive personality, Sarva Bhattacharya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met him, he, by the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became a devotee. And later he says this, I was just like a dry scholar, my Lord, but you made me swim in the love of Krishna. That's a devotee. Who can be greater scholar than Sarva Bhattacharya? Prabhupada said it was Brahaspati himself. Who can be greater than him? Such an exalted scholar. Prakashananda Saraswati also had thousands of sannyasi disciples. He also, when he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, became a devotee. Why? Because the pleasure of Krishna consciousness is much higher. We need the four Kumaras, they were also great devotees. The great personalities, they knew about Brahman and they traveled to see the Lord in the spiritual world. When they smelled the Tulsi at the lotus feet of the Lord and saw the beautiful form of the Lord, they became surrender, became a devotee. That is the famous Atma. Atma Ramascha Maniyo Nirganti Api Urukrame Kurvanti Ahetikam Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Gurong Hari. The Lord has such amazing qualities that when a person comes in contact with that, he becomes a devotee. So Prabhupada says the four Kumaras were shaken out of the Jnana platform and brought into pure devotion to the Lord just by smell of lotus feet of the Lord. So we have to become a devotee, not dry scholars. This verse is very much appropriate because the last class which I took, I was mentioning that actually we may be creating only dry scholars because the devotee people are not developing so much desire to do some service to the Lord. How can I serve Radha Govinda? How can I do that? That is devotion, no? That is becoming a bhakta. No, I can take level 1, level 2 classes, that's okay, but that may be dry jnana. Why not also develop devotion? No, I'm a devotee. So Prabhupada doesn't translate bhakti as devotion. Prabhupada translate bhakti as devotional service. Service. And I told you the big example. We had a temple construction going on in Bangalore. So I remember I went to one person, was a very big person in Bangalore. Sir, I know he is a great religionist and great name you have. We have the temple coming up. Can you help us? Bhakti dil mein hai. क्या बोला? Bhakti dil mein hai. So how does the devotion come out? Devotion, it has to come from the heart and be practically exhibited. Then we can say it is devotion. So devotion service is not done only in one way, it is so many ways. Practically devotion service is there. No, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, that's fine. That's fine. But you cannot chant Hare Krishna 24 hours. Other time you have to do devotion service. When Arjuna said to Krishna, Krishna, I'll go to the forest somewhere, sit down and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna said, yes, you have to do that, but you have to do some service also here. Chanting has to be there and service also has to be there. No, I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, that's okay, but then you have to do service. So don't be a dry scholar, just understood now. Actually we have not seen anything about Krishna consciousness. All we know is a world view of Krishna consciousness, the basic philosophy we have understood. By that we can answer some questions of people and we can present the philosophy, but we have to do something more than that. What is that? Accept the regulations of Bhakti Yoga. Jnani may not do that. And engage. Prabhupada says that, somebody may say, bhakti is very easy path. Bhakti is very easy path. So Prabhupada says, then why take the difficult path? With the klesho dikaraste sham avyakta sakta sam abhaktai gater dukkham. Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter, Krishna explains the third verse that klesho dikaraste sham, it is full of klesha. The avyakta sakta chestam, those who are attached to the impersonal feature of the Lord. So if something is difficult, why something is easy, then why go to the difficult path? We should accept the easy path. That is devotion service in Kali Yuga. That will make us advance. We accept the easy path. Why go to the difficult path? So what happens today? Today we know the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. We can present that philosophy to anybody and we can answer people questions based on this philosophical model. We can ask, but we should question ourselves, am I living by this philosophy moment by moment? How many moments do I live by this philosophy? So Prabhupada says that actually they say the path of devotion is very easy. But when they are brought out to the rules and regulation path of devotion service, jnanis run away. It's not easy to follow. The jnanis run away, they cannot do. So don't be satisfied and be complacent, lethargic. Oh, I can present level 4, level 3, level 2 and all. That is just academic. But how much I have developed eagerness to serve the Lord. That is what is needed now. And that is spiritual advancement. Okay? More advanced devotee means is eager. Ye yatha ma prapadyante tam sadaya bhajam. To the degree we become eager to serve the Lord, to that degree Lord is revealed. Atha shikasha ramadi na bhaved grahim indriyai sevon mukhe jivado swayame muspurati yataha. Anything about the Lord, Nam Adi, another thing, Na Bhavet Graham Indriya, cannot be perceived by the gross senses. Sevon Mukhe Jivado. So when you develop service spirit, the Lord is revealed. Okay, so let us progress on this path of developing service spirit and not theoretically, practically. You have to actually do some practical service to the Lord, which I was developing in the last time. So do practical service. So we have a meditation. Janmashtami to open the temple of the Lord. Now do some practical service. Different ways. How we can do practical service? 4 ways. Prana. Therefore I said, you all have to come here. It's not in the air. You have to do. You have to come prana. You have to give your time, your life, prana. So you cannot give 365 days. Therefore I said, give 1 week in a year. Come 2 times. Prana. Prana, your life energy. Engage in the service of the Lord. True, I'm not saying giving class is not devotion service. Shravanam is the highest. But why neglect? Kali-yuga both have to go. Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavad Vidhi. Only doing Bhagavad Vidhi will not be complete. Pancharatra Vidhi is also important. Pancharatra Vidhi means all this thing. Cleaning the temple of the Lord, worshipping the Lord, cooking for the Lord. That is Pancharatrika Vidhi. Bhagavad Vidhi is sitting, chanting and reading. Among the two, Bhagavad Vidhi is more powerful. Therefore, you are having some pleasure of Krishna consciousness. But the Goswamis said both are important because then people will be benefited more. So like a proper said, like a train goes on 2 wheels both sides, car goes on 2 wheels both the side. So spiritual life should be balanced, should have both the sides. Both the sides we should have. Then there will be progress. So we have to balance. So not only academic, that is Bhagavad Vidhi, chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavad Gita. Now Pancharatra Vidhi is now doing devotion service. Then there will be proper progress in devotion service. So we need to combine both of them and then advancement will happen. So prana means, by life, by my life. Okay, I cannot give 365 days. I can give 1 week. Prana. Artha, yes, money. For construction, we need money. I'm just waiting if I can go and give you an update how things are there and how particular things you all individually or collectively can donate so that temple quickly finishes. Prana, Artha. And then Dhiya. Dhiya means intelligence. You can use your intelligence. Share some intelligent idea, more to preach. You're using an intelligence to preach. Intelligence to bring the course to more and more people. And Vacha, your words. Prana, Artha, Dhiya, Vacha. 4 ways we can offer service to the Lord. By words. You can tell people, you can chant Hare Krishna. So spiritual life doesn't mean, okay, I know now Bhagavad Gita, I know what is Bhagavatam. Okay, that is okay. That is Bhagavad Vidhi, and definitely we honor your chanting Hare Krishna and studying and teaching Bhagavatam. What about Pancharatra Vidhi? That is also important. And actually, when somebody is very eager, very happy to do devotion service to the Lord Pancharatra, like cooking for the Lord, decorating the Lord, cleaning the temple of the Lord, you know that actually the bhakti is now fructifying, is developing a desire. What is bhakta? Bhakta means he wants to offer service to the Lord. So bhakti doesn't mean only some kind of a knowledge. Bhakti means actually a developing understanding of service to the Lord. Okay? And not only that, engaging in the service to the Lord. So then it completes. Then bhakti is completed by this. So therefore we are facilitating. Yesterday I had a meeting with the language leaders. We had a vast meeting. We have given them some points. And now my request will be to all of them to sit down with their language, the team members, and meditate how they can see that people are also getting an opportunity. We can provide opportunity, then people have to take up, but we give an opportunity that they can be engaged in devotion service. Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you very much,
Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dabra Pranam. Happy Krishna Conscious New Year, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Happy Sankranti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sankranti is a very auspicious day for opening new things. In the sense, all the people I'm using for marble, for all, they said they will start work after the 14th. This is the good time to open. So now that's a good time. You can think about devotion service. I hope it just get clear. The class point is clear. Generally in the society, the jnana is given more knowledge and devotion is considered subordinate. And somebody is a devotee means mentally weak, emotional fellow. He is a weak fellow, so therefore he takes. Jnani generally, they think I'm God, I'm everything. And bhakta means I am servant of the Lord. But actually bhakta is greater. And that is Durvasa Muni, and example we have the Vedavyasa being encouraged to come to the platform pure devotion. There can be no Jnani like Vedavyasa, Mahamuni Vedavyasa. So many examples we have, the four Kumaras being great scholars and self-realized souls still came to devotion service. We took example of Swarma Bhattacharya, another great scholar, Jnani, came to devotion service. Prakash Saraswati, another great scholar. So overall we took an examples and point that actually Jnani means just theoretical understanding and Bhakta means engagement in devotion service. So in that way I developed. Presently our course was focused and they were tend to be leaning towards more academic and people were becoming slowly scholars, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Sarvabhauma. But if they're not engaged in devotion service, what is the use? So not everybody is engaged at this point. We have the largest congregation in the history of ISKCON, probably by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, grace of Guru Maharaj, 10 lakh people, 1 million. And now engagement of them in devotion service is something we are talking about. Imagine the energy. 1 million people start engaging in the service. What a revolution it can create. Just think about it. What a revolution it can create. And it can lead by beginning. So start beginning. Start planning. I heard the groups have already started planning. Start planning. Sit down, look at the calendar. Janmashtami to mark it already take years. One more time, just mark it. When your team can come, prepare, plan, train yourself. You should know what to do, how to do. You should all know. Okay? Okay. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji. Have a Krishna conscious day,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You want to remain a Jnani or want to become Bhakta also, you decide.
Bhakta.
Bhakta Prabhuji.
And then, where is your service? Where is your service? You have to do service now. So now become active in devotional service. No, I understood one concept, one more concept. That's good. Yeah, just don't remain Jnani. Now you are devotees, but increase the devotional component in the sense of doing devotional service by a body, mind, and all over the personal. Okay? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Then with Pranam, happy Makar Sankranti.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
So I have given a challenge to you now. You want to remain a Jnani or you want to become Bhakta? A challenge has been given. So now you have to take up. Yes, Prabhuji, we take up the challenge. We will show we are not only Jnani, we are Bhaktas also. So it cannot be in sentiment. You have to practically do something, a service to the Lord. Do now. Bhakti dil mein nahi chalega. Abhi practical दिखाओ मेरे को. Bhakti dil mein hai. चलो सफाई करो मंदिर का. चलो cooking करो. चलो deity worship करो. So do something practical now. No? Okay. Okay. And you see Prabhupada's personality. Everything was there. He was cooking for the Lord, he was worshipping the Lord, and he was cleaning the temple of the Lord. Savai Manah Krishna Padara Vindaye. If you say that, we don't know. The next line comes out, Vachansi. Unanu Vartane. Constantly is talking about the Lord. Very nice. Shrutim Chakara Shadakato de. Constantly hearing about the Lord. Karor Harer Mandira Marjanadishu. With the hands cleaning the temple of the Lord. Mukunda Lingaya. So constantly, every angle, every sense has to be engaged in the service of the Lord. Then that will lead to proper satisfaction and proper development of Krishna consciousness. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Pranam
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Hare Krishna
pranam.
Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Prabhuji.